ザ・サーフェススピンズ。
Hello, Surface Spins here. Yeah, today we're going to look at some records I bought in the last couple of weeks at a garage sale, actually in the state sale, and and I picked up some records strangely on the street once. This fellow had set up a whole bunch of records down in Santa Cruz, California, on the street one weekend afternoon. That was a surprise. So I was stumbled on some records that way. It was kind of fun. So let's get started. We'll talk about some of these records I picked up. Wait. Oh, we're getting a phone call. Let me answer that. Hello.
Hello, is this the Surface Spins?
Yes, this is the Surface Spins. Who's this?
Hello, this is Kyoko.
Hi, Kyoko. How are you doing? What's new?
Hello, Surface. May I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course. You can always ask questions. What do you want to know, Kyoko?
How long have you been collecting records?
Uh, how long have I been collecting records? Many, many years. Probably since I was 10 years old. I've been buying records. Once I really started having my own money, I used to go down to Sears, which is a big department store in America. I think maybe it's closed now. I think it went bankrupt. Anyway, they used to have a TV section, and in that TV section, they had a small section where they sold records. And I used to look at the records and the 45s and buy all my favorite songs that I would hear on the radio.
Do you have any other memories of listening to music when you were young?
Yes, I have so many memories, great memories of listening to music when I was young. Uh, Again, on the radio, I was kind of a radio head. I used to have a transistor radio that would keep next to my bed, and I'd carry it with me, and I would listen to the AM radio. It was an AM radio. And that's how I kind of got hooked on pop music. I think I really loved those pop songs of the on the AM radio, the top 40 hits, that kind of thing.
Thank you for your time. It is greatly appreciated.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Kyoko. I appreciate you calling too. And please call back anytime. Take care, Kyoko. Have a nice day.
Thanks for the answering my questions. Really.
You're very welcome. Talk to you later, Kyoko. Bye bye. Wow, that was amazing. We got a phone call from Kyoko, who asked some really nice questions about music, I guess, my history, Surface Spin's history. Cool. So, anyway, let's get into some of these records that I found at the estate sale and then on the streets of Santa Cruz. Uh, this one I did find at the seller who set up in Santa Cruz. It's a Webb Pierce album, Cross Country. I love the cover. He's wearing that, it looks like a nudie suit in that car. This album, Cross Country by Webb Pierce, was voted the 10th best country album of 1962. And it's got some great songs on it. And Webb Pierce has an amazing voice. It's a first pressing, I think, on the Decca label. It's sounds great. And the guy who was bringing these records up was bringing them up from Gilroy. He has a shop in Gilroy. This album, I was surprised to find Bob Wills and his Texas Playboys. I picked this one up in the Sacramento area. This is another one I picked up in a different spot. On the cover, there's a dancer who looks like Doug McClure, the famous actor. Um, I'm not 100% sure, but the timeline kind of matches up. It's from 1958. This is a later 70s pressing of Bob Wills music. Great stuff. Bob Wills, country, Texas swing, country music. Very cool. These records, I picked up Augustus Pablo records at the estate sale. And, they had great hype stickers on them, and they were in the shrink. And they aren't first pressings, they're second pressings. But I think they're the first American pressings. And think I found three of them. These are my. I had picked up one other Augustus Pablo record at Record Store Day, but now I've got some of his other stuff. So I have four or five Augustus Pablo records, I think, in my collection. Great music, very chill. He plays that melodica, is that what it's called? And it's dub music. Really beautiful. Great music. At the estate sale, the woman said she saw Augustus Pablo play back in the 70s, which I thought was kind of cool. But she was running the estate sale. I don't think they were her records. I don't believe they were anyway. These are again all the US presses. I think the originals that were released in Jamaica came out a few years before this. This one I did pick up in Santa Cruz at that Sidewalk sale, the $6 Million Man record. I couldn't pass it up. The cover is great. It's in perfect shape, and it tells, five or six stories, shortened stories of the $6 Million Man. Unfortunately, Lee Majors doesn't do the voice of the $6 Million Man. It's all other actors. I wish it was like the original theme song and that kind of thing, but it wasn't. But a cool, collector piece for me. This one, Fanny. This is Fanny's first album on the Casablanca label. Watch the Fanny documentary. It's very, very interesting. And this is their, first big time record. Unfortunately, it's not the greatest record. There are a couple of songs that kind of rock out, but they get kind of ballady in this one. And I don't have any of their other records, but boy, from that documentary, you just want to search out their stuff. This one I found, Some Girls. I finally got my copy of Some Girls, the original pressing with the Lucille Ball picture and the Brigitte Bardot and all of those people who later had their pictures removed from later presses of this. It sounds wonderful. And I've been looking for this record for a long time. I've seen represses, but I've never seen the Lucille Ball one. So I had to go and get this. When I saw it, I said, this is the one. I've been waiting and waiting for it. I found a copy of Blonde on Blonde, which I have already on CD and vinyl, but this is one first press in mono, which was really cool. And it's got that picture of the woman here who had her picture removed later. Apparently, she didn't want her picture on the album, and so that was removed from subsequent editions. And it's on the Columbia label, the 2i in mono, and it sounds great. So this was another really wonderful estate sale find. I picked up one of my first Yes albums on vinyl. I have another Yes album on CD, but this is the first Yes album I have on vinyl. I've never been that much into Yes, but this is a great album. It's got that song Roundabout, which I remember, and it sounds really, really good. I don't think it's a first pressing, and it has this booklet with it, which I think means it was a record club edition that came out a few years after the first pressing. And the booklet is kind of nice. It has little bios and photographs of all the guys in the band, all the pieces attached. It sounds great. I'm not a big prog person, but this was a wonderful listen. Just a wonderful, album. I'd never had the Beatles love songs before in my collection, and I saw this very clean copy at the estate sale with that classic picture by Richard Avedon inside the gatefold, and in very, very good shape. It had all the bits and pieces. It has that, I think it's a 20-page booklet that is kind of written in calligraphy with all the lyrics, which is really nice. So I can read along while I listen to the Beatles. And some people talk about the sound quality of this being poor. I didn't think it was that bad. It does sound like they added echo, a little reverb, but they kind of make all the songs sound like they're in one continuous piece. So they really fit in well together. The way they mastered it or whatever they did to it, not bad. So I'm happy to have that in my collection. Very happy. Beatles love songs. So those are my pickups from the estate sale and the sidewalk sale in Santa Cruz, California. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at these records. Take care and see you again next time. Surfer Spins signing out.
Who are you talking to?
Mom!
What is it?
Please stop calling me.